targeting me, the supercomputer, the AI system, is targeting me with these fabricated and falsified memory references and fabricated and falsified motivational impulses. Sometimes it'll be a pain stimulus. Sometimes it'll be a laughter stimulus. But it's using the most grandiose, graphic, abusive, incoherent thoughts imaginable, not my memories at all. Artificial brainwaves. Like, they're constantly using, for some reason, they're constantly using, what's his name, a tennis player, a famous tennis player. I can't remember his name. Anyway, they're so damaged my brain now. I've got brain damage from these attacks. Anyways, like, or was a famous tennis player. They keep injecting him with these fabricated, falsified memory references, artificial brainwaves, motivational impulses. And what they are is they're called controlled hallucinations. I call them forced hallucinations, but that's what they are. And I did many videos on this where, scientists and commentators talk about how they can do this. They can actually use controlled hallucinations. And it's, for me, it's done, they want, well, for any victim, mind control victim, trauma-based mind control victim, what they want to do is they want to create the most demented mind model, this cognitive model inside the database of their system. They want to create the most demented mind model and the most deranged psychopathology possible in the victim. They want to see what they can do to drive the victim mad, crazy, or to lash out, turn them into a Manchurian candidate, whatever. And they're using this famous tennis player, and they've been using him for, I guess, about 2 years. And just most of the time, that's what it is. It's these grandiose movie star, rock star, sports star. They don't seem to use much other than that, but it's grandiose, graphic, sexually. They use sexual thoughts too, obviously. Grandiose, graphic, abusive, incoherent thoughts. This is what they do, and it's a supercomputer. Dude, I say they as an anchor point because it's government contractors that are behind this. Intelligence agencies and Department of Defense that are doing this to all their victims. But they're targeting me. They're targeting me with these controlled hallucinations. They're literally forced hallucinations. And this has been going on for years. It didn't just start. So I'm having to constantly redirect back to my normal memory and thought process. And the system just keeps injecting. It just keeps attacking. These remote neural attacks. And controlled hallucinations are just that. They're remote neural attacks of two things: fabricated and falsified memory references and fabricated or falsified motivational impulses. Again, sometimes it'll be a pain stimulus, sometimes it'll be a laughter stimulus. Whatever brain waves they were able to capture from the victim, any set of brain waves. That's why the cognitive researchers have to stay on the victim. So that's why they chase me all over the world, these cognitive researchers. Well, we got to see if he's crazy. We got to make sure he's okay. No. We need forensic psychiatrists and forensic psychologists to follow him all around the world. No, but that's what they did. Because they weren't just forensic psychiatrists and psychologists. They were hive mind team members. They were cognitive researchers. They were government contractors. And I mean, they did it in countries which hate them. And those countries like Cambodia, they used Australian and New Zealand and Canadian and British against me in Cambodia, also in Bangkok, in Thailand, in Chiang Mai. But down into Cambodia, they did the same thing. Hong Kong as well. And they were using a British forensic psychiatrist against me in Colombia. But they did this in countries like Nicaragua, Ecuador, Serbia. They did it in other countries around the world which hate the American government, absolutely despise the American government. That's why they were so important at first. While the cognitive model was being built, they had to stay on me. Now they can back off a bit because they've mapped out my brain. I mean, these are the worst atrocities imaginable to mankind. And they're going on every day. I mean, they're doing it to millions of people. And most people don't even know that it's happening. Hundreds of thousands of those millions are trauma-based mind control victims. It's unreal. That's why they had to damage my ears so bad. They damaged my ears severely. The reason they damaged my ears so badly is they had to stop that Christian music. That Christian music had to be stopped because it was not only breaking brain entrainment, disrupting their technology, but it would permanently defeat their technology over a period of 180 days by permanently altering my brainwave signature. So they had to stop it, so my ears are severely damaged now from the attacks. Well, they've manipulated my attempts to get medical treatment for that. And they've been manipulating my medical treatment for years and doing it in countries which hate them, doing it in countries which absolutely hate the American government, and using Interpol and all these hiding behind and using law enforcement to do their dirty work. No, they had to because they were mapping out my brain. So these cognitive researchers that they're using, these psychiatrists, these psychologists, these neuroscientists, these behavioral scientists, etc., these cognitive researchers, these government contractors, are hiding behind the guise of their profession, when in fact they're being used to torture and kill, murder, rape. Innocent men, women, and even little children are being targeted. It's unbelievable. And of course, this nation is a nation of cowards, so these cowards aren't going to do anything, especially with all the refugees and foreigners that have come to America. They don't know anything about George. Someone said George Washington and Thomas Jefferson would be shooting by now. Not in this nation of cowards, they wouldn't. But that's what's happening to me on a daily basis. And while I'm driving, they're attacking me. While I'm driving, they're constantly distracting me from the road with these attacks. They use drowsiness, they use dizziness, they constantly use these forced, these controlled hallucinations. It's unreal. It's been going on for years with me. They had to keep those cognitive researchers on me in countries around the world under the guise that I was under an investigation. Now it's a 26 year. Back then when I noticed they were using cognitive researchers, it was 5 years ago. It's now a 26-year investigation. So you're telling me that you had to chase me around the world with cognitive researchers, forensic psychiatrists, because what? Because of your 26-year investigation? It didn't take 26 years to investigate Carlos the Jackal. It didn't take 26 years to investigate Carlos the Jackal. This is not an investigation. And it is a perfect example of what they're doing to their victims all over the world. Perfect example. They are targeting my medical treatment on a daily basis. Medical COINTELPRO, they're doing it to all their victims. They have weaponized medicine. It is the weaponization of medicine. That's what they have done. Because the government can't have thousands of targeted individuals running into emergency rooms all over the country crying out about the same symptoms happening to them and say that, they're all delusional, they're all schizophrenic. No two people can suffer from the same delusion. This is government training, research and development, and artificial superintelligence. And by the time that tens of millions of Americans have already had their brains entrained to the system, realize that all this organized stalking that was going on was designed to attack you. was designed to remotely tie you to a supercomputer, it will be too late. It's already too late. It's already, right now, too late. The best thing that you can do is to get out of America to delay the inevitable. And you might be able to delay the inevitable during your lifetime. You wouldn't be able to delay it during your children's lifetime, but that's all you can do. Unreal. Unreal. I'm being targeted with controlled hallucinations in my car while I'm driving. Forced hallucinations. Bryan too.